I've always wondered if people in positions of power are aware that they reinforce the same attributes that got them to that position in the first place. This one for me is true self-mastery. It's what I think of as boss-level leadership thinking. And that is being aware of power dynamics and our positionality within organizational structure and even a societal structure. I see this pattern of behavior in leadership all the time. We as humans want to validate our existence. We need to reinforce our position and have the authority and credibility within a space. There are two reasons that I see it's important to address this. One, leaders are closely tied to adding business value. They have extremely high salaries, people leader, project leader. That needs to not only compound over time, the decisions that they take, but also have a multiplication effect. If you're paying a leader $1 million, you don't want $1.1 million of value return. You want like 10 million return, So if a leader is taking decisions to validate and justify their own existence, they might not be taking the best decisions for the organization, for the product that they're trying to create or the service that they're trying to provide. The second very important reason that it needs to be addressed is the people around them who don't reflect the same attributes that they have then see what is being valued within the organization. And if it's a meaningless thing, such as gender, race, another meaningless demographic discrimination, essentially, those people are not going to feel a sense of belonging. They're not going to have the same level of engagement and motivation to contribute to the organization. An example of that is in automotive design, I see all the time that all male management teams are making decisions about their people in their organization in a way that reflects the masculine qualities, what they recognize and value within certain types of work. And that sends a very clear signal to all the people who are not male in that space that this place isn't for me. I'm never going to get to the position that these people are in. This management team is probably not doing this consciously. They're not thinking, the things that we're saying, the decisions we're taking are reinforcing masculine attributes and what is valued within work. But it's purely because there's no one else in that space to challenge them. And so that the decisions that they take reinforce this pattern of behavior. And then to flip it on its head, the business value side is, of course, 50% of the world's population are women, and they are buying this type of product. And to be honest, women actually make a lot more purchasing decisions of family cars than men. So it's even outweighed. And yet we still have mostly all male management teams in a ton of different car companies making decisions about products for, more than half the population. So there's a cost for both the people within the organization that are no longer engaged and motivated and contributing high quality work because they don't see themselves in the decision making and even in the career that they could have in that space, as well as the customer at the end of the day might not be getting the full value from the product. And the downside is they don't even know that because it has always been this way. Take a breath, Carrie. If those people decide to take a different decision, they would have to recognize that the structures that were in place, the people that came before them, gave them a certain type of privilege. The things that helped them develop in their career that they might have to make a different decision on now would mean that they might not have gotten to where they are. And what does that mean for them? A less discriminatory and less clear-cut example is maybe how automotive design has a sort of competition system where it gets a suite of designers to compete against each other to win that hero position of being, the chosen one. As you can imagine, this doesn't foster a culture of collaboration where people are sharing ideas and building up each other's work. And probably at the end of the day, the best product for the company is not being made because people are not working together on a topic. They're working in kind of competitive isolation. And this creates all sorts of negative behaviors like undercutting each other or other types of negative politics. But why would a leader change this process if they have all the qualities that thrive in that environment? And I'll use him because usually these heads of designs are hims. He would have to face the abyss of his entire career. Would he be there in this position of power if not for this process? And they might say, I got to where I am. Why can other people not? Well, I can say for a fact that there are a ton, probably 95% of people who are extremely talented, who can do the work, but who do not thrive or work well in that sort of environment. And then an organization is missing out on a whole suite of people, of creativity. And you'll probably also find that this type of person that thrives in this environment only has these types of ideas, whereas it's missing out on a full spectrum of all these other types of ideas. That's just an opportunity cost. And yes, we can take it back where this sort of competitive nature is actually a very masculine quality. Women do like to compete. I'm a competitive person, but many women do not thrive within a competitive environment. And if they do seem to ascend the hierarchy in this sort of competitive space, automotive design or other, there's usually other parts of themselves that they have to cut off. Or there is a large dissonance in how they're expected to behave and how they actually enjoy behaving, the environment that they thrive in. And this sort of dissonance is what leads to burnout, high stress, and other health issues. Circling back, leaders need to be aware of their positionality. This does create a catch-22. The people who are self-aware and empathetic at this level might then question themselves and spiral to a level of self-aware destruction. Whereas people who do not have that level of self-awareness and who are not aware of their position of power and the power dynamics in a space are unlikely to see the crux of the issue anyway. So what do? We become aware of our own attributes and how we reinforce those attributes within a system so we can make intentional decisions. Simply put, we do the thing anyway. Leadership is hard. It's why most leaders get paid a fuck ton of money to do this very hard thing. If you are not consistently developing yourself, you are not aware of your own attributes, your own biases, and how they show up within your decision-making, because they might impact the business value and the people around you and the value that they provide, then you're not doing your job as a leader. To be harsh, you need to ascend into this boss level place of leadership. So you are both making the best business decisions, you are allowing other people to thrive within their environment, maximizing their potential within a space, and you are adding both a multiplier effect of value as well as a compounding effect of value within an organizational system. That is how you show up as a leader. And you don't have to lead people to have this sort of leadership mindset. This was a bit of a ranty video, but I had to get it off my chest because I see leaders making this error all the time, and they might think it isn't important. We don't have to look at the biases within our positions and the power dynamics of the space we exist in. But that is missing out on a huge part of leadership. But now I'm done. As always, if you're liking my content, give me a thumbs up. And if you like me, you know what to do. Subscribe.